Alright, I'm back a little sooner than expected. I was going to make more progress and kind of hopefully get the lower third finished and show you that and kind of talk through what I did. But before I forgot, I did want to make mention of something that it's not super important. I actually knew this, I just forgot as I was doing this. Um, these rails actually come in different sizes. This particular one is matches, I think, a Data East and some Stern pinball machines. And they vary in size. Most of what I'm understanding, it's this distance. And that's what I wanted to just highlight for everybody here. This way, if you ever do decide to do this and you're using my videos as some kind of example, although this is more of a video to show you progress opposed to how to, but if I do see something that I do want to call out as gotcha points or something to think about, I will. So here's one of those, and as I was mentioning, these come in different sizes. When I started putting the lower third together, like I said, I have to do everything by hand. I don't have a CNC machine. I started with a CNC diagram, and let me show you what that is. And screwed over here, excuse the mess. And bear with me a second as I get it up, because it just turned on me. Here. This would be where that rail goes. And I was following this. Again, this is where the rail goes. I was following this, and there was an example that, excuse everything popping up, was saying to drill a hole, or a hole was going to be 48 millimeters from the side and 332 millimeters from the bottom up. Well, when I was doing that, I did drill that hole. I moved to the second one right here, which would have been 59 millimeters and then 240 millimeters up. And I did that. And as I was actually drilling the holes, I was actually placing the components just to make sure it really did line up. And what I found was this one, it was much longer over here. So if you can see kind of that black dot is, that's where the hole was. So luckily I only did these two holes. Now, from what I can tell, this hole is in the right spot for this one. But if I went and did that one, obviously it was wrong. And then these two aren't even on the diagram I was using. So what I did was I drilled that. When I put it down, I had that one drilled too, saw it was longer, but I did see that it was kind of matching up over to here. So I kind of just used the distance from here to the bottom, down there, as the guide. Because that's when I looked at other Stern machine, I think Deadpool uses this style. And I saw it was pretty much even with that. So I knew this was going to be the right location. I had that one right, but I didn't have the two for here drilled or even know where to put them. So I anchored this down using this one because it does look like it was right. I kind of hoped it was, and I was guessing when I did it. So I installed this. I installed this one. I didn't have these installed yet, but it still kind of looked like it was going to line up. So then I just, instead of trying to measure holes, I just took the drill bit, went through the hole that was already in the rail here. Did the same there, and luckily it lines up. And it is the right distance, because if you look at a ball, it will kind of fit right. Now, I didn't actually take any appropriate measurements for this and this, but this should line up right, because that hole was correct. And this one, again, from here to the end on the side to here, it is right. So that's all right. This was very parallel to the side. So it looks like everything's going to work out right. So if you're deciding to do this, just remember that these do come in a couple different dimensions. So if you're following any type of diagram, just make sure you measure it out and maybe place it there just to see if it looks like it's going to work out right. Because luckily I did that, because if I drill the holes and have this one in there, not that, again, this is a piece of wood that's going to be wasted, but not that's a big deal. But if I can limit holes this way, if I don't have to remember that this was a mistake, that's a plus. So just a heads up, just wanted to stopped what I was doing and remembered to show you that. So hopefully the next time you'll see this, the lower third will be done. I'm not sure if I'm going to the ball eject in there yet, but definitely the flippers in without a doubt. That should be it. I don't think I'll put the switches in over here yet because there's rollover switches for the lanes. I don't know if I'll do those yet. We'll see, but probably not. I'm going to make sure the bottom third can flip, so I'll probably have the electronics in place after I finish the lower third. I don't think I need the ball eject, so well, let me get this done, and then I'll come back and show you where I'm at. Thanks. Hello again. Well, I'm back sooner than I thought. As you can see, the lower third is nowhere near done. Matter of fact, all I did was drill a couple holes right here. And as you can see, this one probably a little bit wider than what it needs to be. So that's kind of why I'm jumped in and started filming this before I finished, because I really wanted to show you guys the lower third complete. And but I mentioned before where if I see something that might be a gotcha point or something I observed or now extended to mistakes I made, and I'm not going to hide anything I ever made, because I'm sure if I didn't call this out, somebody will notice it and kind of mention, but it's not the end of the world. What had happened was that I had the right size for the hole. It's, I think, 28 millimeters long. But the problem is I had the angle wrong. Instead of being angle like the direction of my finger, I had it a little bit like this. So when you put it, screwed the mechanism on there, it didn't really line up correctly. It didn't line up with the holes for the switches. This one was back way too far. This one, was fine, but just the angle of the whole mechanism changed at that point. So I had to make the hole bigger, obviously. Sitting past the rubber is not a problem. It should sit a little bit past, because when it kicks, it's definitely going to go further than the rubber sits right now. And the ball won't really get stuck there or anything, because it's round. So the crest of the ball would be past that. When it's up against the rubber in the play field, it's definitely round, so it's not even sitting that hole. So that's not a problem. If you look at other machines, you can see that hole sticking out a little bit. This one might be slightly further than, I'm looking at it, might be slightly further, but it still shouldn't be a problem. It's going to hit the rubber, hit the switches, and the mechanism is definitely going to kick the ball away, so it won't be a problem. But even though I got the angle wrong, I did want to call out another piece that I used, another part, or tool I should say, that I used that didn't help the matters, because I was in a rush. I didn't have a drill bit other than this. This is a 1/2-inch drill bit. And when you're doing this one, since I don't have a CNC machine or anything, what you have to do is actually drill 2 holes and then cut out the middle piece of the wood that's left. And you sand to make it, somewhat even. But the problem with this is that these can walk very easily, meaning when you're drilling, it's not really a point. So it can definitely slide one way or the other. And I'm only using a hand drill, not even a drill press or anything like that. So definitely not great for this. I was in a rush. This is the only thing I had, so I just drilled it away. But really what would have helped me was to get a pinpoint spot. I forget what they call these, but as you can see, it's got a point in the middle that'll definitely hit the spot you want to drill in. I think I bought this set on Amazon for like $30, if not even less. You get more expensive ones to last you longer. Again, I think the set I got will definitely last me long enough to do, one play field pinball machine for all the stuff I have to drill. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to highlight, hey, I make mistakes, because if I didn't, somebody would probably call me out on it and say, hey, that's a little bit wide, and sure enough, it is. But it's not the end of the world. I mean, this is, I mentioned it in my videos before, this is what they call white wood. This is how you're mocking everything up. You're gonna throw this piece of wood away. Well, you're not going to use it for the final product, let's say. So it's not the end of the world. Make mistakes, keep going, and as long as it really is not going to interfere or anything, you can still lay everything out. Yeah, even if this was a bigger hole and stuck out more, I would still probably use this and lay everything out. Why waste the rest of it? And just understand that if it was bigger in the wrong spot and it did interfere with the play, it's not a problem because you weren't keeping this piece, so it's not the end of the world. You don't have to be super, super perfect on your first play field because you're most likely not going to use it again because this is not the right wood to use for a play field. It's definitely something you're just going to throw away. So, all right, that's it for now. Hopefully next time you see this, the lower third will be somewhat done. I'm not sure if I'll get it flipping for you, but definitely done, meaning the flippers, the trough. Yeah, I probably won't have the groove for the ball in here yet, but definitely enough where you can see. Yeah, it looks like a pinball machine now. So, till then, bye.